Good morning. My name's John O'Court. I'm the CFO of EQ Resources, and we're a significant tungsten producer in the world. The usual disclaimer before we begin for this presentation, and if you want full disclosures, we just ask you to refer to the website and ASX announcers as we walk through today's presentation. So the tungsten market, what makes it so special? It's a critical mineral. It's seen as one of the most critical minerals within Australia. Within Australia, the European Union and US. Sorry, mate. Thank you. The reserves, the global reserves, are 3.7 million tonnes with annual production of about 80,000 tonnes. So it's a very small market in terms of volumes. Within that, restricted countries, when we talk restricted countries, we talk China, Russia and North Korea. They make up about 87% of total production, 63% of the global reserves. What we're seeing is substantial geopolitical tensions that are driving the price. So as an example, last year the US Department of Defense is banning Chinese imports from 1 January 2027. In addition, China has also banned its exports at this point in time. So what you're seeing is 83% of the tungsten market disappearing to the Western world. You can see in the graph on the top over there, in the last 6 months, you've seen a sale price increase per MTU of approximately 40%. So you're starting to see prices of about 450 an MTU and above. There's been long-term forecasts that have sort of expected a decline in production or a large supply gap, and we're hoping that we'll see that unfold, and this could be the potential of that pricing impact between demand and supply. So what's tungsten uses? It's a very small market. It's a bespoke market. The big thing about tungsten and that is it has a very high melting point. So it's the highest melting point of all metals. It's got incredible hardness as well as significant density, which makes it very hard to be substituted in an efficient manner. The key industries that use it, you're looking at defence is increasing, industrial use is increasing, mining and construction is increasing it. To give you some sense and some specific examples, tungsten's used in armor-piercing ammunition, CT scanners, semiconductors, and even golf clubs for the people out there who enjoy their golf. So yeah, we see significant opportunity within that tungsten market as the supply chains tighten up. So EQ Resources, it's one of the, I guess, what we're here to talk about. Our current market capitalisation is 108 million. And in the 12 months ending 31 March 2025, we produced 1,700 tonnes. Just to put that into perspective, global production is about 81,000 tonnes, and 83% of that is coming out of China, or is remaining in China. So we see ourselves as a significant producer at this point in time. Over the last 6 months, we have raised substantial capital. So we've raised 24.6 million, and the target there was to reduce debt. We've paid down some debt at one of our assets in Spain, by 5 million euros, provide working capital, and to continue our progress in the development of both our assets, Barruecopardo in Spain, as well as Mount Carbine in Queensland. In July 2025, was just this month, we received a letter of interest from the US Exim Bank, where there's an opportunity to potentially fund us up to 34 million US at a 10-year debt facility period, and that would be to progress the development of Mount Carbine. So that's something that we'll now continue to progress over the coming months to see where we go. So our operations, so in Spain, Soloro is the entity that owns our asset there. What you can see is it's located up in the northwest of Spain in a very tungsten-rich region. So it's got a long history. Before EQR acquired it in January 2024, a substantial amount of investments had been put into it. Today, as we stand, it has a 7-year mine life with extension opportunities, potentially underground and also to nearby tenements. One of the key challenges one of the key focus areas for the business has been to increase the ore recoveries from sort of 30s up into the 60s and 70%. It is very conducive to ore sorting, and we've installed 2 ore sorters, and the third one is being installed as we speak. And we should start to see those recoveries. We're seeing 60% now, and it will continue to improve. And the current production is about 1,300 tonnes or 130,000 MTUs per year in climbing. All in all, the in-situ reserves are 4.4 million MTUs, and the pricing, as I mentioned, is by MTU, which is a 10-kilo trading unit for tungsten. In Mount Carbine, it's located just out the back of Port Douglas. It's about 100 or so kilometres outside northwest of Cairns. It's a producing asset. Its mine life is has a 19-year mining permit, and we've spent approximately 50 million to date in developing the asset. At the moment, the minimum mine life is about 8 years, and that only uses 19% of its known resources. Those resources are 9.4 million MTUs, which is in 10 kilos or 943,000 tonnes of tungsten oxide. We've also secured the Wolfram camp just here, which is in reasonable proximity. It's in reasonable proximity to our existing Mount Carbine, and that will give us long-term options around development and progressing the mine plan over the years. We are targeting an increase to approximately 1,700 tonnes to come out of Mount Carbine, but we've still got a bit of a way to go there to achieve that. So in terms of where we are and where we're at and the opportunities that we're seeing in the marketplace, we said the market's substantially tightening. With operations both in Spain and Australia, we've been able to develop some very good partnerships and collaborations with the international marketplace. Some of these key ones really focus on in Vietnam. So in Vietnam, there's some of the largest it's the largest ferrotungsten processing plants outside of China. We've got collaboration there with High-Tech Metals, myself and High-Tech Metals, to continue to develop our market position within the globe. We have ongoing collaboration with Almet Technologies, which is uses tungsten in producing its equipment and tools. And that's really giving us great opportunities to funding. So currently we have a grant application in place with the US government and combined with Almet. I think the other key thing to mention about Almet and some of our other US customers is that to have access to the US EXIM funding facilities, we need to really meet the supply chain initiatives requirements, and that ultimately means 2 things. One is you either are selling into the US and you have US customers, or that you're buying US equipment. So we're meeting those requirements, and that's what's creating us our opportunities to potentially secure some funding out of the US at very competitive pricing. The last one to mention, and it's been, I guess, announced previously, just around the tungsten metal group. So if we talk about global production of 81,000 around the world, 83% is coming out of China, so call that 67,000. So there's ballpark 14,000 tonnes of tungsten floating in the marketplace in the Western supply chain. The Tungsten Metals Group owns the largest ferrotungsten smelter outside of China, and that's approximately 4,000, has a capacity of 4,000 tonnes. So that creates quite a significant market share opportunity if we are able to secure that as we move forward. But those really create substantial vertical integration for EQ Resources as we get our mines up and running to where we need them to be. So why invest in us? We've got 2 significant expandable operations that are operating in very well-known historical tungsten-rich regions. the strong market outlook. So we think we're very bullish on the market. We're seeing substantial supply chain shortages coming through in the West and continuing demand for tungsten. We have secured offtakes, so we absolutely have those, but they are at spot pricing. So it gives us an opportunity to ride the wave of any pricing that moves forward. And we have our customers that are in the US, Europe, and Asia. That ability and the locations of our operations really gives us options around sustainable funding solutions with institutions such as the US Exim and others. We're in talks with many various financial institutions to give us opportunities to continue the development of our two operations, to be expandable and really generate significant cash flows. And we believe that we've got a genuine focus on ESG performance, and we have a history, particularly at Solaro in Spain, and we'll start to see that coming in Mount Carbine as it starts to produce. Thank you very much, everybody, for your time. We greatly appreciate it, and thank you.